is a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Jeremy Lee in the building and every guest that you ever needed. Sports cards after hours keep the hobby heated. Updates, hobby talk like you never seen it. Sports cards live and none could ever beat it. Sports cards is a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Welcome to another episode of Sports Cards Live with your host, Jeremy Lee.
Yes, welcome everybody to another episode of the PWCC Weekly Hockey Auction Ending Watch Party on Sports Cards Live. Today is Sunday, March the 17th, 2024. My name is Jeremy Lee, and we are going to jump right into it and bring out our co-host, none other than Mr. Josh Madigan of the Gong Show. Josh, welcome back. What's going on?
Not too much. Happy Sunday. Good auction tonight. Some cool cards. Can't wait to get into it.
I am looking forward to Expo in Toronto. It seems to be like it is coming up fast and furious, just over a month away. And I want to let everybody know who is going to be in Toronto for the Expo, that the event that I organized on the Thursday night, the networking event, is scheduled and ready to go right after the show closes on Thursday, the 25th of April, about 8 o'clock. At the Jack Astors, but come see me at the show at my booth, and I'll make sure to let you know where it is if you don't yet know. But the Expo is upon us. It feels like it's right around the corner. I'm excited. Josh, you're coming back up. Are you getting excited?
Oh yeah, and it's going to be here before we know it. I'm kind of really curious to see too, with the whole Bedardapalooza thing going on, like how nutty the show actually is.
Yeah, I think it's going to be nutty. I'm very excited to see all the Bedard impact as well. I'm excited. William Shatner, Captain Kirk, is going to be there. That's pretty cool. And my all-time favorite professional athlete of all time, Teemu Selanne, is going to be there, and I am very excited about that. He was there a few years ago too, but I'm excited this time to see him for sure. I believe I'm going to be interviewing him on the main stage, and of course, that makes me very happy. So that'll be a fun conversation. You're going to be there. We're going to be doing some content together on the stage, I believe. So that'll be exciting as always. It's like it's a usual thing for us now, Josh. You and I spend a lot of time together. So it's always nice to do it in person too, for sure. All right, guys. Well, we have and first of all, I want to just let everybody know, yes, apologies for the 15-minute later start tonight, but I just had some personal stuff to tend to. But here we are. Extended bidding on this auction starts in about 12 minutes. That's all access extended bidding. There are 223 hockey items ending tonight on the PWCC platform, and we have selected 61 of those to look at and run through and to pick our survivor cards with. I got mine picked. Josh tells me he has his picked. I don't know what he's picked. He doesn't know what I've picked. And I'm hoping that some of you guys have some cards picked. So before we do that, why don't we just do a legit scroll through? I'm not going to stop and pause too much. Let's do a legit roll through the items that we're looking at here, and we can see and let some of you guys in the chat pick your survivor card if you'd like. And simply for fun, guys, just to add a dimension to the show, the last card standing tonight will claim the title of sole survivor for tonight's auction, and that's what you get. So here we have some vintage, a Mahovlich rookie. We got a Sawchuk, a Tim Horton non-rookie cards, another Mahovlich, Johnny Bauer, Jacques Plante, some nice Hall of Fame cards from same sets that you guys can pick up. A nice Makita rookie, a beautiful Gordie Howe, 60 Parkhurst, more Parkhurst cards, Sawchuk, Richard, a 74 Topps Bobby Orr, PSA 8, 3 Gretzky rookies. We have a O-Pee-Chee 7, we have a top 6, and we have a top 6 as well. So 2 top 6s and O-Pee-Chee 7. We have a signed Gretzky second-year O-Pee-Chee. We have a Lemieux PSA 9 with eye appeal, and an 88 top sticker Gretzky with eye appeal as well. Actually, that's the image that made our. You'll see this picture of Gretzky, bottom right-hand side of your screen right now in the window there. That's the image from this card. Couple of Gretzky autographs from 94 via player. I do believe these are his first pack-pulled autos. And a Gordie Howe auto right there, the missing link. That's an interesting set. There's another Gretzky auto, another Gretzky auto. Gretzky StarQuest green. The golds are all the rage, but the green's pretty cool too. There's also a red and a blue. We got another Gretzky auto here from Holo FX. That's a UD Authentics card. We have Young Guns for both Crosby and Ovechkin going off tonight. This is the dual Ovechkin-Crosby rookie showdown. I had a story to tell about that card. That's why I selected it. An amazing rookie year, Cup rookie year, RPA, Sidney Crosby, the honorable numbers, beautiful card. There's a Malkin Cup RPA one color, BGS 9.5. We have a Lemieux limited logos from 08-09, a dual Gretzky, Messier, enshrinements from 09, and a McDavid Young Guns. Here's a McDavid Young Gun canvas. We have this McDavid. This is like a box topper or something like that. I used to have one of these. This thing's at $675. I don't even know if I kept mine. So, and this is a BG. Oh, it's autographed though. This is autoed. Never mind. This is an autoed version. Okay, good. We've got these are fun cards. These were giveaways during like Hockey Card in Canada days, maybe Hockey Card in the States day as well. A Gem Mint 10 NHL draft picks, McDavid. Really cool looking card. There's a Konechny SP Authentic Future Watch of Pettersson. Svechnikov Young Guns tonight. Another one, but the exclusives. Here's the dual Ovechkin Bure ingrained stick right there, BGS 7. Actually, I sort of owned this card at one point in time and sold it. I'm curious to see what it sells for tonight. There's a Jack Hughes Young Gun right there. Another Hughes, a Quinn Hughes exclusives. There's a Lemieux buyback auto. We've got a Jason Robertson PMG Red, a Kaprizov Skybox Premium Rubies. I love this card, Josh, numbered out of 50. A Stützle SP Authentic Future Watch Auto. We have Kaprizov Young Guns. We have a McDavid Clear Cut. We have a Robertson Premier Acetate Rookie, a Kaprizov Premier, a Stützle Cup RPA, a Jack Hughes Shield, everybody, a Jack Hughes Shield. One of one. There's the Caulfield SP Authentic with 2 Young Guns to go along with it tonight. We got the Lucas Raymond. We've got the Brock Faber for our friends from Minnesota, the Brock Faber Outburst Young Guns, and the Devin Levy goaltender for the Buffalo Sabres Young Gun. And to end it off is the Wayne Gretzky signed SP card from 1994. That is Gem 10. I believe that's some sort of buyback, it looks like to me. Those are our cards that we are going to be looking at tonight. Some comments coming in, guys. I want to thank you all for being here. The affiliate link is in the chat. I put it in earlier. I'm going to put it in again right now. If you are bidding on anything tonight, I ask you to please copy and paste the link from the chat into a new browser and go from there. And then we'll receive a small commission. And again, it's the most important thing is that PWCC knows that you guys like what we're doing here. Greatly appreciate that. Josh, why don't you kick us off with your survivor card of the night?
Well, I'm going to go mostly with my heart here. I'm not sure if it's the most strategic play, but there is kind of strategy behind it. So I'm going to go with the Ovi Bure Stick 101 from Ingrained. And I'll give you my reasoning. Because Bure collectors, it's not even as much Ove, but I'm not saying there's like the hugest group of Bure collectors, but they compete with each other, man. And so I think that, and they're, there's not a ton of like great Bure stuff either. And so if there's a number of people waiting to see this card sell tonight, there could be some competition.
Well, I don't know what to do now. I'm left in a lurch because that was my pick for tonight as well, simply because I know what it sold for last time, and this is well under that. So I figured it would go and go and go. Now I can't pick the same card as Josh, so I'm going to have to pick something else. Now, to you guys in the chat, no one's put in a pick, but if you want to put in a pick in the chat, I'm going to write it down and we're going to keep track of it. So let me know. Let us know in the chat, please, if you would like to play along with Josh and I. If not, that is fine too. You guys can just sort of cheer for us if you want and have some fun. So now, Josh, I need to look through these and pick a different card. And
we do have one pick in the chat, Jeremy. 86 Collectibles has the 60 Parky Gordie Howe.
I didn't see that. Thank you, Josh, and thank you, 86, who I believe won last week's Survivor
champ.
1960 Parkhurst. I'm just gonna write that down. All right, 86 back in the game. We're gonna have at least 3 people playing. Anyone else want to get in on this? I'm gonna pick the Jagger bobbleheads. I'm just kidding. Can't do that. Boy, oh boy, what am I gonna go with here? That's a cool card. All right, let's go with this. I'm going to go with the 1980 O-Pee-Chee Gretzky Auto. 1980 O-Pee-Chee Gretzky auto. I don't know. I felt pressure there to come up with something quick. If I needed to really think about this, which I just don't have the time to, I think maybe the Hughes Shield would be a nice one. Maybe this Kaprizov. Yeah, I do like this Kaprizov the best, actually. I love these cards. Yeah, you stole my pick, Josh. You stole my pick. I also like this Lemieux limited logos is pretty cool.
I can't wait to talk about that card. That is the one card I wanted to talk about the most, the Lemieux limited logos.
Okay, good to know. We will talk about that. Craig's card says there's going to be a duel with the Ovi and the Young Guns, the Ovi and the Crosby Young Guns. So Craig, are you saying you're taking both of them? You think those are the final two? Because boy, oh boy, that's a to call the final two. That's got to be even harder than calling the final one. It feels like horse racing to me right now, where you can pick the top two, the top three, et cetera, et cetera. So, well, let's get into some comments, and then we'll start looking at these cards. Want to say hello to Gary. Let's get it started. What's going on? 86 is here, of course. Craig is here from Boston. Gary, good evening to you. 2 Cent, what's going on? Andrew, happy Sunday to you. Todd McDonald is with us. What's going on, Todd? Pino Chiapetta is with us. Found Treasures is here. Laura is here. Where is the stolen Jagger bobbleheads? Yeah, what is the ultimate plan for those? Who knows? That's an interesting situation right there. Todd McDonald has made a pick. He's taken the Crosby Cup patch, the 06. What's the 06 Crosby Cup patch? Does he mean the 05? Unless it's got to be one that we're watching. The 06. He must mean the 05. Todd, you must mean the 05, right? You must mean this card here. That's an 05. But let me know, please. 2 Cent is joining the game. 2 Cent is picking the PSA 7 Gretzky rookie. I like that pick. And we're going to wait to hear back from Todd. Hobby Champs has joined us, everybody. What's going on, Hobby Champs? Good to see you. All right, Todd, I'm waiting to hear back from you. Laura is picking the 94 Gretzky, and Todd is confirmed. He's picking the honorable numbers. And Laura has picked the 94 Gretzky. I believe that's the Be a Player auto, Laura. Is that correct? 94 Gretzky, Be a Player auto. Ben Deho is here and says, what are the best mid and low-end cards to buy for NHL rookies? Well, Young Guns, I would say, maybe up there, but there's plenty. Watch tonight and see what we talk about, Ben. 90s, what's going on? Good to see you. All right, Josh, let's start at the top and just talk about a few things about these cards. Frank Mahovlich, 1957 Parkhurst in a PSA 7 is just a great Hall of Fame card. This one looks very nice, slightly off-center to the right, but a beautiful 7 nonetheless. Edges and corners do look very nice on that card to me. And then, a 59 Topps Terry Sawchuk PSA 7 and a 59 Parkhurst Tim Horton in a PSA 7. Again, I like looking at these cards because these are Hall of Famers, and they are just so interesting in and of themselves because of the designs at the time. And, for people who are working on these player runs, I do like these Hall of Fame cards myself. I'm just going to run through these, Josh, and then you can come in and pick on any of these ones that you want to speak to. Frank Mahovlich, 1959, another case of just nice Parkhurst cards. If you're working on a Parkhurst set or, again, a player run, these are some great options. I like this pair here because you're going to pick up 2 Hall of Fame goalies, both in PSA 8 holders, 1959 Parkhurst, both horizontal cards. And I just think that what a pair, Johnny Bauer and Jacques Plante. I mean, that's awesome. 3rd year Jacques Plante here, I believe. Let's take a quick look at this. I just love this card. Look at the centering too. The centering is unbelievable. Corners and edges are sharp. Color is really strong. That's a beautiful card. That's an absolute stunning card. It has exceptional eye appeal rating, which I agree with. No eye appeal up there. I love that pair right there. And then we have a Beliveau from 59. We have the 60 Topps Stan Mikita and a PSA 7. Let's take a quick peek at this card, you guys. So centering is off top to bottom. It's got something. I don't know if this is if that's on the card or not, but That's definitely a blemish to be of concern. You also have a fisheye right here beside the B and Blackhawks, and another one right over here, another one right over here that we can see. But this is certainly, something that you're not gonna enjoy having on the card. And it's also something I believe your eye is going to be drawn to constantly. If that isn't a piece of dirt inside the slab, and that is on the card itself, I'm almost thinking that this, if that is on the card, Josh, I don't know how this card is a 7 with this, and it doesn't have a PD qualifier for print defect. So I don't know what this is. I think you got to really think hard about this card because of this thing right here. What are your thoughts, Josh?
This card checks a lot of boxes, but if we talk about it, it's the trade-offs. It's what bothers you from an eye appeal perspective in vintage and what doesn't. And if you are a surface imperfections, if that's a big thing for you, this probably is not the right card. Probably the best things that's going forward is probably the right to left centering. Right. So the top to bottom is off. But I mean, I don't know. To me, this is probably a low 7, I would guess.
Yeah, I think it's this is an issue for me. This is an eyesore. This is where my eyes go. Every time I look at the card, I'm going to look at that thing. And I'd rather I just focused on the, what is the highlight of the card, which is Stan Mikita here floating on top of this retro looking background here.
Well, what always strikes me about this card, Jeremy, is how small the image is in the background. It's almost like a depth perception thing where he's like supposed to be like far away from the camera or something like that.
Yeah, they needed room for the bottom of the stick here, I think, and the puck to get that whole image in. 1960 Parker Gordie Howe. Nice card right there with exceptional eye appeal. Looks to be very well centered, actually. This looks like a little bit off to the right, but overall, a really nice registration. Very, very clear and in focus. Great color. That's a great card. See, this is an 8, and unless there's something I'm not seeing, this might be a strong 8. Because the centering is certainly well within 8. This centering is good enough for a PSA 10, never mind an 8. So what is wrong with this card? I don't know. It seems like it may be undergraded, and PSA or PWCC has appropriately given it a strong eye appeal rate designation there. Josh, do you have anything to say about these 6 cards up here?
The Jacques Plante card is amazing.
Yeah,
that's
what a beauty.
If you're a goalie collector, want to Mount Rushmore of goalies. Boy, this is, and I think that this one, these normally sell, I think, in about the 550 range and 600, and this one will probably do a little bit more than that tonight.
Yeah, it's already over 650, so very nice card right there. Here's a look at that. Pair the Sawchuk and the Howe together. This is a very nice 8 as well on the Sawchuk. No eye appeal assessment from PWCC, but a very nice card. And you can also get the RE Richard to go along with it too, with exceptional eye appeal for an 8. Some very strong 61 Parkhurst. And that's a 60. These are 61. Oh, sorry, this is the 61. These are the 60s. So the Howe and the Sawchuk here are 1960. The RE Richard is 1961. Very similar design, as you can tell. I prefer this design because you've got the logo in the background on repeat, which I think is pretty cool. And a 1974 Topps Bobby Orr PSA 8 with exceptional eye appeal, card number 100. If you look at all the Bobby Orr cards, after his rookie year, you'll notice that Topps and O-Pee-Chee often gave him the card number 100 spot for his base card, which I always thought was pretty cool. 3 Gretzky rookies, you guys. First up is the O-Pee-Chee PSA 7. Let's take a good look at this card right here. We're going to start out centering. Centering is actually really good. Now, it is slightly off to the left, slightly high, but a really nice, that's really good center. Like, we've seen a lot worse for 7s, that's for sure. This has got very nice centering. Look at the oil drop, you guys. Look at that oil drop in the pocket there. I'd say it's very close to perfect. Not perfect, but really, really nice. Now let's zoom in and take a peek at what's going on here. Top corners look great. Top edge looks great. The word Edmonton and Oilers is pretty much on the same plane. Edmonton, the black looks really solid. We're not seeing any real white snow coming in. We are seeing some other sort of surface discoloration or markings right in here. You can see looks like some black, a light black ink right there, a blemish. It comes down right here between the L and the E. So note that. Registration wise, you've got a very thin sliver of white coming through right here. It's so thin that I don't know that I'd even be too bothered by that. And that's something I'm very critical of. You got a fisheye right here on the shoulder, which, you know, we don't typically have on the card right there. You've got another blemish right here. I want to zoom in so you guys can see this right here on the right. Do you guys see that right in there? Is that like a smudge during the printing process? I don't know, but I don't like it. This is something that I do not like. Obviously, who would like that? The oil drop is positioned a little bit high, I think. No, actually, this might be, if anything, maybe it's a little bit to the right, like a little bit. But this is a very, very nice placement as far as the oil drop goes. You've got a thin sliver of white under here that shouldn't be there. You see it also very minor up over here. Bottom right corner looks really good. It's not perfect, but it looks very good. Bottom edge looks good. Right edge is very nice. Right edge, you can see, is a lot sharper than the top edge, and that's just a function of the blades being changed at different times. Bottom edge looks good. Bottom left corner is good, not perfect, and the left edge very similar to the right edge. I mean, listen, it's not a perfect card, but the centering is certainly in the top half, probably better than that for all PSA 7s. Registration is very, very good. Corners and edges are very good. I think the problem for me on this card are these surface blemishes. Again, this one over here, it might be hard for you guys to see on my screen, but if you look at this on the PWCC website, you'll see. But right here, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of this black blemish. It's very light, but I hope you guys can see it. Not a fan of that there. But the biggest culprit to me is this thing right here. I just don't like that at all. And that would probably stop me from wanting to bid on this card for my personal collection. We have 2 PSA 6s, and Josh, we'll get your thoughts on all 3 of these at the end, if you don't mind.
No worries.
I'm going to bring up the 2 6s now, and let's take a look at them. These are both Topps cards. And, you know, the nice thing about Topps Gretzky's, they're so much easier to analyze than O-Pee-Chee, because typically the edges and corners are, you know, the only issues you have are from normal wear and tear. And the registration focus is usually very good. This is the case on this one. You know, you've got a, you know, slight corner issue right up there. The color is just phenomenal here. Look at that, black and orange are beautiful. No registration issues whatsoever. Fisheye right there. Bottom corners look good for the grade. Edges are good. This is a 6. It looks like a pretty strong 6 to me, actually. Let's look at the other one now. So this one, if we go back, just want to make them the same size. So yeah, you can see the second one we're looking at is much more off-centered than the first one, shifted to the right. Of course, as you can see, top to bottom looks pretty good. Everything else about the card looks really good. So you've got 2 6s to choose from. And, you know, for the most part, that centering is almost identical. It's very, it actually might be better on the, yeah, it's better on the first card, but not by much, guys, not by much. Oil drop is great on both of them. I think it's a bit better on the second card. Yeah, it seems to be fitting nicer in the pocket here. Let's zoom in on the pocket. Yeah, look at that uniform width of the white outline around it. It may be slightly to the left, but the point looks to be right where it needs to be. And this one, yeah, the point's a little bit higher. Yeah, it seems like it's sitting just a little bit high. So overall, though, I think these are fairly graded as 6s, and I think the first one is the better centered card. You've got your choice. This is really, it's not that much better centered. This, I just realized now, this has above average eye appeal, which I don't understand. Considering it's got this thing right here. That to me is a big hit to the eye appeal. So anyway, we'll maybe if when PWCC does eye appeal assessments, they don't really either look at or notice a small blemish like that, which when you kind of just look at the card from a distance, it's not as easy to notice. But when you're me and you watch this show, we're going to notice these things. So a nice card overall, for sure. Josh, what were your thoughts?
Well, I'll start with the OPG, and the more you learn about this card, the more you start to understand why there's only two PSA 10s. There's a million things that have to come together for the card to be perfect. And what kind of stinks about this one is that blemish, because there are what we commonly will see, like in the Oilers, where you see registration is offset, or you see a little blurriness on the whole right half of Wayne, or the oil drop placement is really offset or out of place. It's like those are kind of the common things we see, and they're really nice on this card. But what it has is a weird blemish, and then a fisheye that we don't typically see on his right shoulder either. And so, man, if you didn't have that, it's like this could have been just an amazing copy of this card. I'm not as bothered by the fisheye, and almost because he has the one on the left shoulder. But I am in agreement with you that that black smudging, it looks like, is probably takes me out of the running on this one.
Yeah. Okay, let's keep on rolling. Here's the second year Gretzky auto. It is a nice autograph on this, as far as at least the color of the blue ink is very nice. It does kind of, you lose a little bit of it in this section here when it comes across his hockey shorts, his hockey pants there, and here the Y on the leg. But the color is pretty nice otherwise. Card isn't great. You can see it's got some paper loss on the corners, but it's more about having this card autographed than anything else. Card isn't graded, which I think is probably good in this case, and the auto graded out at 10. So that's a nice copy. And then we've got a PSA 9 O-Pee-Chee Lemieux rookie with above average eye appeal from PWCC. And let's just take a peek at this. So the first thing I notice is there is some tilt on this card. I believe I'm seeing counterclockwise tilt. And right here, this width of the width of the border up here, I believe, gets wider as we come down. I think you can see that, and it gets wider as you go up on the right. That to me is somewhat of a eye appeal killer when that happens. So I don't agree with the above average eye appeal rating on this card for that reason alone. But I might be, in the minority of that. That might not bother other people as much. And I'm really trying to, kind of, put myself in the head of the eye appeal team at PWCC and say, maybe I don't know. I can't imagine they didn't notice it, but I wouldn't have given this an eye appeal designation at all. To me, this is, average at best as far as the Lemieux rookie goes because of that. But let's look at some of the subgrades of the card. The edges and corners, so far so good. You've got something going on here. Something going on here, guys, on the edge. I don't know what that is. Is it just not a straight edge, or is it a bit of an optical illusion because of the PSA holder and this ridge of plastic in there? I'm not sure, but I just noticed this now. Something there throwing me off. I'll be honest, that is throwing me off right there. We come down, edges look good otherwise, corners look good, bottom edge looks pretty good. I don't know what's going on with this up here. This almost bothers me more than the tilt does. So I don't know. I personally do not endorse this card. I would not recommend this for a 9. I think you could find better 9s, and I certainly disagree with the above average eye appeal rating that PWCC gave this one. Josh, you want to make any comments on these two?
Yeah, what I would say, I comment on both. What I would say about the Gretzky is we're fortunate, I guess, in that there's a lot of Gretzky auto cards. So it just comes down to what we do your research and kind of figure out what you want. And if you want an in-person auto, to me, this is a card that would be like more meaningful if you actually had the card signed yourself or was part of your dad's collection or something like that. There's, in my mind, a lot better options. And then the one other thing I'd point out too on the Lemieux is it looks like in the orange bar at the bottom, there's something going on there as well that you might want to look at. And I really view the OPG Lemieux PSA 9 as right there as an important card, because obviously this is rookie. There is a gulf of different, an oceans of difference in price between the PSA 9 and PSA 10. you go from about $2,500 to $33,000. So this is kind of probably the most realistic Lemieux rookie for most people. And what I would say here is there's 641 of these. And so really look at it and find the one that if you want to have this card in your collection that kind of meets your specific criteria.
Yeah, and that's great advice, Josh. And that goes for any of these commodity type cards that there's several of them out there, graded, raw. I do recommend buying graded for these cards because you're that much more comfortable that the card's authentic, etc. But you do, I believe, and now, a few years ago, it was like a rush to buy things because, next week they're more expensive. Nowadays, I do think that we can be more patient in waiting for the right copy of a card for our personal taste. This Gretzky, I just thought this was so cool. I collected O-Pee-Chee growing up. I didn't collect the top set, so we didn't have this one here. But this is the top sticker from 1988-89 Topps. It's a SGC 10 Gem Mint, and it's just I thought it was a really cool card, Josh. I like it a lot, and I thought it would be interesting to some people, especially those who are doing the full Gretzky run. If you're doing all Gretzky's of the 80s and not just the main base card, this is one that you need. And it's a Gem Mint 10, and it's $100. I mean, that's I don't know comps, but it feels cheap to me. All right, here's two 94 Be a Player Gretzky's autos. We have a 5 and we have an 8, a PSA 5 and a PSA 8. The 8 is a pop 11 with 10 graded higher, sitting at 900, and the 5 is at 460. I want to open these up and just look at the autographs and see if there's anything condition-wise on the 5 that I'm really noticing. And as I scroll over this card quickly, I'm not noticing anything about it that makes it a 5. But again, we can only see so much in 2 dimensions here. And there's the 8. That autograph, look at that autograph. It is beautiful. Nice dark black ink. Several letters are identifiable there. This one, it's a little bit different. Hey, look, he signed this one in one row, and this one he stacked Wayne over Gretzky. And this autograph seems to be slightly fading. It still has a 10 auto. To me, this, even though the grade is higher, it's funny to say, but even though the grade is higher, I do think this is the better card. This is the one that I like more so than this one for a couple of reasons. And the price does show that. It's twice the price right now for the 8 over the 5. And then the 94 missing link Gordie Howe. So what's the 94 missing link? Well, I believe it's, 1956? Was it 1956 that Parkhurst didn't make a set? I believe. I can't remember exactly. They did 51, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I don't think they did 56, and I think they did 57 and on from there. And what happened was in 94, I believe Be a Player, put out a set called the Parkhurst missing link set, and it was kind of to fill in that gap where Parkhurst itself didn't make a set. And this is the Gordie Howe autograph from that set. It's a BGS 9. The auto is a 10. And that's a pretty cool on-card Gordie Howe auto, which, we're not seeing many more. No more of those are coming into the overall population. Josh, your thoughts on these cards?
Do you have any idea what the print run is on the 94 Be a Player Gretzky's?
I don't. What I remember is that there were one autograph per pack, which was preposterous at the time. I think it was like $25 a pack, which was unheard of at the time. And but it was probably would have been a short print. As far as the overall print run, I have no clue. If anyone in the chat has an idea, let us know what you think. But no, I don't, Josh.
And I don't know a lot about the 94 Parkhurst missing link Gordie Howe. That's a card I probably will research a little bit.
There you go. Okay. We have the 95 Be a Player Gretzky auto right here. It'd be nice to pair the two. At least, this one, he's in this kind of unappealing NHLPA jersey, likely that they used during a lockout year or something like that. I think, I don't remember exactly. And then you could pair it with the 95 Be a Player auto where he's in his LA Kings jersey. So that would be a nice pairing. We got the SPX Tribute Gretzky auto from 1996. This is a PSA 7. This one, the auto is there. It's kind of hard to see, but there it is. right there on what I believe is a hologram. So not the best card to showcase an auto, but it is an auto. It is an auto nonetheless. So take it for what it's worth. And if you like it, hey, place some bids. And if you're bidding on anything tonight, please use the affiliate link that I put in the chat earlier. I'm going to put it in there one more time right now for you guys. Just copy and paste it into a window if you can't click on it directly and make a bid through there. I'll be very grateful, and it'll just let PWCC know that you guys like what we're doing here. All right, 98 Upper Deck Star Quest Green. Star Quest Green Gretzky from Upper Deck Choice, 1998. This is a PSA 8. You know, if this is the Star Quest Gold that's out of 100, it's a huge card. This is the one of the three other parallels to it. They come in green, blue, and red, and they're actually really nice cards. I have the whole set in all three colors. I don't have any golds, and they're just nice. So you know, it's not a hugely valuable card. Look at that, $14 right now. And by the way, guys, we have 8.5 minutes left in the first extended bidding window, which lasts for half an hour. Any bid, any card that is in orange still will be sold at the current price if it doesn't get a bid in the next 8.5 minutes. Josh, anything you'd like to say about these three?
Yeah, they're all cool cards. I really like the Star Quest cards, and you know, at $14 for a green, just a fun card to have that is pretty attractive, I would say right now. And I totally agree with you too on the SPX. The autos on those I want to like those cards. I really, you know, I sit and I stare at them, but and maybe it's like an in hand thing too, that I don't know if they're better in hand than they show up in photos, but the auto always does seem a little bit in the background on those. But if you're a fan of like technology, you know, I mean, gosh, pretty high tech printing technology at the time that those are produced. You got the die cuts and the holograms and a lot of stuff going on there.
You certainly do. We've got a 99 Upper Deck Holographics Gretzky auto right here. This is, let's just take a look at this because it actually looks like a very pretty card. Nice autograph. UD Authentics auto. So I believe that, I'm not sure where this card comes from, actually. Is this pack pulled or not? I don't know. Someone in the chat, let us know if you're aware. Josh, jump in if you do. We have the Young Guns, the Young Gun duel here. We got the Gretzky, we got the Crosby, and we've got the Ovechkin. Ovechkin scored again last night. This one's authentic altered, so keep that in mind. Still at $310, and the Crosby is certified authentic by MBA at $460 right now. This card is interesting. This card has both Ovechkin and Crosby on the front. Now, right now, all you can see is Ovechkin, but this is a lenticular card, and if you just kind of move it side to side in your hand, you're going to see Crosby come, then you're going to see Ovechkin. You can see Crosby. Maybe that's Crosby's stick right there. Maybe that's someone in the background on the card. I'm not sure, but on the Ovechkin picture. But let's open this one up and see if we can see the other side of it. No, they didn't add a picture that shows, but Crosby is on the front of this card with Ovechkin. And the story I want to tell about this was, there was a time when if you had redemptions with Upper Deck and they were sending out redemptions, they'd slip one or two of these cards in there for you for free. I had one time, I think they sent me 2 or 3 of them, and I had them. Well, okay, well, let's see what I think I sent them to ComC or something like that. They were raw, but they gave these away left, right, and center. So it's not a you know, it was a giveaway card. Let's just put it that way. And now the only thing that really adds scarcity to it is going to be condition. But next up, we're going to look at this Malkin 0607 Cup RPA. This card was huge in its time. This card was the Bedard of its day back then because it was second year Cup. I remember, Josh, sitting at the computer the day the second year Cup dropped in 2007 and refreshing constantly to see all the cards coming up and putting in bids, you know, and you know, on the eBay platform back then, you'd click every 10, 20 seconds, there'd be 30 new cards listed. Like, it was absolutely insane. And the Malkin was probably the biggest rookie in the set at the time. And this is BGS 9. It's a one color, which has its benefits for sure, in that the patch is good, great autograph. This is a really nice copy if you are okay with the one color patch. And look at that, $1,625, pop 6 in BGS. And then finally, maybe the best card of the auction, the 05 Sidney Crosby, honorable numbers, rookie year, patch auto, beautiful card, beautiful design. And we're sitting right now at $3,600 on this card. One color on the 8 window, 2 color on the 7, and then the autograph holding up pretty nicely. It's not perfect anymore, but it's holding up nicely. The card is an overall PSA 8. Josh, over to you on these cards.
Yeah, well, I want to make a really quick comment just on the top, the row up very quickly on the Crosby Young Guns Raw. You don't even have to go to it, but one of the things that's really great about PWCC is the quality of their images. They do heat maps, they do super high res images. So if you're buying a raw card like this, more so, we always joke about like on eBay, people take like a picture where there's barely any light and the card's like halfway shoved between a couch cushion, and you're supposed to determine if you want to buy the card or not. So I think that that's an area to throw PWCC some kudos there, because I think it makes buying a raw card like that much safer. And then you got the NBA authentication as part of it too, so you know that the card is authentic as well. The Malkin, I think it's a good time to buy Malkin, in my opinion. He's kind of at that stage where he's near the end. He's struggling a little bit as Father Time catches up, and I think so maybe a little bit judged by how he performs today, but after he retires, then all of a sudden it's the breadth of his career that becomes important again. And so if you're a Malkin fan, actually at this point in the career, my theory is it's a decent time to buy. And then on the Crosby honorable numbers, a huge card, I mean, important card. And yeah, it's almost, you almost think of that, boy, it's weird this isn't in the premiere or something like that. It feels like it should be in some ways. And there's not a lot of these. And so, and boy, it seems like a really good deal right now to me too.
Yeah, it's numbered out of 87, but this is a key Crosby card, and I feel like this card would have easily been 5 figures a couple of years ago, and I mean, it's a different time now, of course. Maybe it could have been not high 5 figures, but close to 20,000 type of thing a couple of years ago. I'd have to check historical data, but it's a big card. This is a big card for sure. It's a rookie year RPA. Dual patch auto on card, beautiful design, full body shot. It's first year cup. That in itself.
Well, it's a card that if you take to a card show and you hand it to a dealer, you're going to get an offer every single dealer. You may not like the offer, but it's a card that everybody's going to want.
Pretty much. Yep. All right, let's keep on going, guys. 2 minutes left in the window. Josh, you want to talk about this Lemieux limited logos? I'm just going to start off by saying beautiful patch and a beautiful auto as well. Yeah, that auto is wonderful. The card grades out of 5. Josh, what do you want to say about this card?
I'm not going to agree or disagree with the card grade because, as you often say, we haven't seen the card in hand. But I think this is an amazing card. And again, if you care about eye appeal and you're not so fixed on the grade, my theory on a card like this is that you're going to get a screaming deal, because half the people are going to be browsing through an auction and see PSA 5 and in their mind automatically write it off. And this card has so much going for it. Like you said, the auto is beautiful. I love how the card was designed, and given that space for the auto, yeah, there is some stuff that's hard to tell by the upper left corner. But there's it's kind of such like an intricate colors and design that it doesn't stand out even as much as like the Gretzky rookie, that black smudging. So I just feel like that the person that wins this card is gonna get a discount because that PSA 5 grade.
Yeah, if this here is a bit of a nick in the card or some paper loss, it might just be a reflection. It's really hard to tell. But if this is what brings it down to a 5, I'd be able to get past that personally, because I'm not buying cards like this for the condition of the card. I'm buying, I don't want a banged up card, don't get me wrong, but I'm buying cards like this for my collection because of the autograph and the patch, and of course the player and the overall design of the card. If there's if there's a bad corner or some chipping on the edges, I'm okay with that for my PC. and I probably just wouldn't bother even grading them at that point. I don't grade my auto patches for the most part. So yeah, I think it's a great card, Josh. Thanks for sharing your thoughts on that, guys. And we are now in the second window. We now have 6 windows ahead of us, guys. They're all 5-minute long windows. Any card that doesn't get a bid during those successive 5-minute periods will be sold. We have cards have already sold, so we didn't even get to see them yet, but let's have a look. But first, Gretzky Messier dual enshrinements auto. I don't know that I like these autographs. Though. Looks like this card was left out in the sun or on the shelf of an LCS. You know, one thing about, I love LCSs just like the rest of you guys do, but when they leave their autograph cards in those showcases under the lights and sunlight coming in the windows, you know, week after week, month after month, if they're not turning over that inventory, those autos are going to fade. Be careful buying autograph cards at LCSs. Make sure you're looking at the autograph as you would anytime. This one shows signs of that to me. So not a card that I'm in love with, but you know, you got both autos. Both these guys held this card and signed it, Gretzky and Messier. And I love the picture of both of them here. Look at Messier there. He just looks like he is mad. And I love that. Such an intense and fierce competitor. The McDavid Young Gun, always fun to watch these. BGS 9.5, Josh, coming in at $950. How does that price measure up as far as your gut feel?
Is that a minimum gem or a true gem?
Yeah, I think it's a min. I'm seeing 395s and a 9. That's a min gem.
Yeah, we'll say it's probably a little bit low for a min gem. I don't like that upper right corner at all.
Yeah.
So I'm not super surprised. Oh, this is a card because there's 10,000 between PSA and BGS. You can be incredibly picky on. So I would be there. It looks like it's a little bit off kilter in the holder too.
It is.
So
Yeah.
it's probably priced where I would expect it, given all that.
Yeah. Agree. I definitely agree. We've got this has been sold. The BGS 10 McDavid Young Gun canvas sold for $12.30, and this oversized McDavid auto, which isn't really a card to me because I don't know what it is, but like this just doesn't fit with the rest of your cards in your collection. But it's something nice to like put on a stand and put on a shelf. I could see doing that. You know, you got to be careful about the autograph because it'll fade over time if there's light hitting it. But this is look how young he looks here. It's rookie year as well. You know, I'm actually happy. I'm proud of this card. I'm proud that it achieved $870 right there. I do like this card here. I have this. I was collecting these cards. I have it raw in a binder, and I do like it. The PSA 10 draft picks McDavid from 2015. It's at $220. Konechny having a great season for the Flyers. Pettersson, the Canucks are having a great season. He's having a great year. I think he just signed a new deal, so he's going to be around for a long time, making a ton of money. And Svechnikov, Young Gun PSA 10, sold for $67. Pretty cheap right there. Josh, just stop me if you want to say anything about these cards as we roll through. There's a Svechnikov exclusives, PSA 9 at $160. I mean, this guy plays for Carolina. They have a shot at winning the Stanley Cup this year. They picked up Gensel. They picked up Crosby's line mate of many years. We'll see what happens there. I like that pickup for them. And then we have this card right here. Josh's Survivor picked the Ovechkin Bure dual stick 1/1 from Ingrained nameplate sticks. It's a BGS 7 sitting at $3,200 as we sit right now. And then the Jack Hughes Young Gun PSA 10 sold for $216, these have really settled in around that $200 mark, Josh, over the past several weeks.
Yeah, the team hasn't played super well. It's such a high pop card that I believe it's approaching 5,000 PSA 10s, one of the higher pop PSA 10s ever. And it's got a super high gem rate, like 75+%. So I always say that I actually really like the card. I think as far as like just enjoying a hockey card, it's a very, very nice rookie card. This is a card to buy at the right price and to enjoy in your collection. It's not one I would expect to go up in value.
Well, it could go up and down. You're talking about this one here, right? The Hughes?
Yeah, I just think the pop is the market really has to grow before. It's a supply and demand thing, right? When there's
Well, so yeah, I will just say that, with this, with the pop where it is now, it's settled into that $200 mark, let's say. If he goes on a run, and I think that most of the, now it's all about Bedard. I think a lot of his cards are the subbing to PSA has slowed down extremely from the peak, I would expect. I'm speculating. I don't know for sure, but my point is that, next year at this time, if they're in the running for a high playoff spot and people are thinking they have a shot at the Stanley Cup because they trade for a goalie like Markstrom in the summertime, this card could go on a bit of a heater because of the Stanley Cup being built in. And then as soon as they're knocked out of the playoffs next year, it'll come back down to the $200 mark.
Yeah, maybe.
So it could have some action. There's another one sold for $222. His brother, Quinn Hughes, exclusives is at $490. Ungraded. Very nice card. A Lemieux autograph buyback 1 of 1. It's an O-Pee-Chee card. It's an O-Pee-Chee from 2008-9 that was inserted in 2019-20 buybacks product. Is at $300. These 3 cards have now sold. The Robertson PMG did $132. My favorite Kaprizov Rubies rookie did $186. And the Stützle SP Authentic Future Watch Auto does $492 and a PSA 10. That seems like a good price to me right there. Kaprizov Young Gun does $126. Wow, that card's come down even more, I think, than it. I feel like it's come down more. The McDavid Clear Cut Auto does $1,020. The Robertson Premier Acetate RPA does $210. Kaprizov is at $260 right now from Premier. The Stützle Cup RPA PSA 9's at $1175. A nice 3-color patch right there. Stützle's definitely has a future ahead of him. And the Jack Hughes Ultimate Jumbo Emblem logo patch shield did $2,280. Caulfield SP Authentic Future Watch Auto does $480 and a PSA 9. The Young Guns are still going at about $160 each. We have 3 cards sold here. The Lucas Raymond Young Gun Exclusives does $372 and a PSA 10 holder. The Brock Faber Outburst Silver PSA 10 does $210, and the Devin Levy PSA 10 does $75, and a Gretzky Auto here buyback, I believe, does $252. So lots of stuff sold. We've got lots of comments. I'm way behind on the comments, you guys, and I want to get to them. We now have, in this bidding window, 2 minutes before we lose some cards. So we've had a bunch of stuff sell. Let's hit refresh, Josh, put all the sold cards to the bottom. And let's see. Now let's scroll down to the sold. We have a lot alive. So the first card sold are here. The Terry Sawchuk 59 Tops does $222. The Tim Horton 59 Parkers, $174. The Frank Mahovlich 59 Parkers does $432. Beautiful, beautiful cards here. I think one of my favorites in the auction, Josh, I think yours too. The third-year Plant does $660. That's just a great card. The Beliveau does $552. The Henri Richard does $216. That's cheap for a 11 Stanley Cup winner guy with exceptional eye appeal. The Gretzky PSA 7 does $5,040. I think that's a little bit high, like for a 7, but that would be because of maybe the eye appeal designation, even though I have a bit of trouble with that. But I think that's on the upper end of PSA 7s as of late. Josh, jump in when you get that data.
48.73 was the last sale, so it's a touch over.
47, did you say?
48.73.
48. Okay, so just a little bit more. Very close still. One of the PSA 6 Gretzky's did $12.30. The Lemieux did $25.20 for the PSA 9. And I think that feels low to me. Josh, is that not low for a PSA 9, or is it about where they've been at lately?
I think that's higher than the last sale.
Okay,
it was like last sale was around $2,300 US.
Okay, and that might be for the eye appeal the eye appeal assessment, which that tilt did kind of throw me off. But the Gretzky sticker does $126. The Missing Link How $264. Gretzky Be a Player from '95 does $660. The SPX Auto $336, which if you could see that auto, I could see that selling for about double. $20 on the StarQuest Green. The Crosby Young Gun does $660. The Ovechkin Altered Young Gun $372. $4,320 on this Crosby. Seems like a pretty good deal to me. $19.50 on the Malkin Cup RPA. 750 on the Gretzky Messier. That seems high to me for these autos. 1140 for the McDavid Young Gun BGS 9.5. 1230 on the BGS 10. We saw that. All right, some more. You guys can have a look at these. I'm not going to read out all these prices anymore, but the Hughes Shield 2280, 480 there on Caulfield. All right, let's go back to the top. We're probably into the next window by now. Yet we're already 40 seconds in, so some more cards will have sold. The other PSA 6 Gretzky does 1590 right there. This McDavid does 288. Oh, Josh, you're out of Survivor. You're out of Survivor. $3,960 on the Ovi Beret. I'm going to have to cross you off there, Josh. And the Quinn Hughes does 588. Okay, let's go back to the top here. Let's click refresh. And then I think, Josh, we're gonna go to some comments. Okay, I'm just looking at the Survivor stuff. Honorable numbers sold. So Todd is out on the honorable numbers, and I got to check on the rest of them. So while we have 3.5 minutes here, let's find a nice row of 3 cards to sell. Let's settle in right there because that's my Survivor pick. I'm going to go to comments, guys. It's been a while, so let's just jump in here. And I'm going back in time, so I'm sorry. Andrew says I'm going to give Mario some love. PSA 9 top 30% is my pick. Andrew, I don't think I wrote that down. I didn't, but that's okay. You would still be eligible, but that card has been sold, so you will not win tonight. Not My Chair says I'm in on Pokemon card, but no hockey. I'm here for the knowledge. Well, thanks for coming. Not My Chair, and just if anyone is using the affiliate link that I put in the chat, it's good for any item tonight, not just hockey. And so I do ask you to please use it if you wouldn't mind. Jeff McMahon has joined us. Not My Chair says these extended windows are stressful. They certainly can be. 2.5 minutes left in this one, guys. Orlando has joined us. Hi, Orlando. Good to see you. 86 says, does anyone else here who's here weekly feel like a low-key Gretzky rookie expert now because of Jeremy? Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, hey, we're here to share knowledge and make you guys better at buying cards, assessing cards, and it applies to all. You can take a lot of these Gretzky tidbits and apply them to other cards too. Not My Chair says yes. 86, I appreciate that. Hobby Champ says the Gretzky 7 looks amazing. I did beat it up a little bit, Hobby Champ, so take another look just to be certain. 2 cents says I certainly know about 1,000,000% more than I used to. That's awesome. Laura says yes. Hobby Champ says photo contrast is usually nicer on the Topps rookie. Yes, it is. Warrior Kid would love to own an OPG Gretzky, could care less about the grade. I love that comment, Warrior Kid. I love when someone just wants to own the card. I think that's great. Agrees. The extended windows are stressful. Andrew says I'm spot on that counterclockwise tilt on the Mario. T-Dot, what's going on? Good to see you. Says the Mario's worth about 4K. I think that was on the Mario, and it sold for what did it sell for? 2,500. You might be talking about a different card at that price, actually.
What's 4K Canadian in US dollars?
3, right around 3.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe that's what he meant, actually. Yeah, that could be it. Hobby Champ says a strange issue with the Crosby-Ovechkin duo. BGS calls it 06. PSA calls it 05. Big deal because 06 is not rookie. 05 is rookie. Which is it? That's a good point. Here's the card. Let's open it up because I want to see what the back of the card actually says. And can we scroll in? 06 upper deck, it says. Yeah, so, just because it says 06 doesn't mean it's an 06-07 card. It depends when it came out. I personally think this is a rookie year card. I think this is an 05 card. And if Beckett is saying it's 06, but PSA is saying it's 05, I think PSA is correct in that matter. That's my recollection. That's my not fully confident opinion, but it's my opinion right now. And if anyone has any thoughts on that or more information, please let us know. What does TCDB say about it? I don't know. Good question. The professor says, Josh makes a good point on the 05 Crosby Young Guns and NBA authentication. Plus, you get his heat map to help judge the condition of the card. Yeah, you get the heat maps, which show you just where to look, which is definitely helpful. Troy from the Gong Show says that Messier looks like he wants to fight me. Troy, sounds like you know what people look like when they want to fight you, buddy. Good to see you, Troy. Good to have you there, of course. And I look forward to seeing Troy at the Sport Card Expo in Toronto in April. Larry says grading companies should use and market UV protected holder, to which Hobby Champ says Tag does. Very good to know. Very good to know. T-Dot says nobody likes minis or oversized except the 52 mantle. That's just not true, T-Dot. That's just not true. So I'll admit, I don't consider the 52 mantle to be oversized. It is bigger than today's standard, but I don't consider that oversized. Tall boys to me are oversized, and I give them the exception. But postcard size cards and like box toppers, not a fan of it all. But to say nobody likes minis is just not true. I mean, that maybe you don't, T-Dot, but that's just not true. Hobby Champ says apparently the new KSA slabs are UV protected. That would be good for them, for what that's worth. Yep. Andrew picked up the Ovi Retro PSA 10 for the PC. Congratulations, Andrew. Troy says Hughes Young Gun is at 4,850 PSA 10s. Wow. Larry's Classic won the Jason Robertson PMG for 300. Congratulations, Larry. You're always picking up cards, Larry. Congratulations. Warrior Kid says got the 81 Gretzky leaders and the 15 SP McDavid rookie card. Congratulations, Warrior Kid. T-Dot loves the plant cards. Hobby Champs won the Gretzky auto. Very happy. Congrats, Hobby Champs. You're always letting us know you're bidding on cards. Sometimes you don't get them. You got one tonight. Congratulations. Love to see that. And GC says Allen and Ginter minis are awesome. Yeah, they are. I've got some minis in my modern and vintage as well. Okay, Josh, we've had a window come and go as I was going through all that. More cards have sold. Let's see what happened. The Mahovlich PSA 7 does 1950. The Bauer from 1959 Parker's PSA 8 does 276. The Makita PSA 7 does 1290. These guys are still going, and they're going to go into the next window. Well, this one will. Here we have the autos are still going. What else is sold on us? The Caulfield Young Guns, 192 and 198 on the two of those. The Sawchuck from 59 Tops did 222. The Tim Horton from 59 Parker's, 174. The Mahovlich does 432. And this beautiful plant we saw before did 660. So there we are. But I do want to just show these two. We had the two Gretzky tops that we talked about earlier. And the first one did 1230. The second one did 1590. And I just want to go and remember which one we like better, or at least which one I like better. I think the centering is better on this one, the first one, than the second one. But I think that the second one was just better otherwise. And it did sell for more. It did 1590 versus 1230. I really think that was kind of like you could have taken either one of those cards and pretty much gotten a very similar card, Josh. So that $350 delta between those two, I don't know that I could justify it on this one, but somebody could. That's what matters right now.
It's not a perfect science. There could have been a couple of people competing for one or the other, and they're in the same range at least. So I'm not surprised there.
Yeah. Okay, back to the Survivor now. 86 collectibles. He said I wrote down 1960 Parkhurst. So what was who was the player, the 1960 Parkhurst player? Was it the Gordy or the Terry Sawchuk? 86, let me know. Was it the Gordy or the Sawchuk you chose?
It was the Gordy.
It was the Gordy?
Yeah,
because do we have any other 1960? We don't have any other 1960 Parker. So 86 is still alive in tonight's Survivor. I am still alive because I chose this card here. 2 Cent picked the Gretzky PSA 7, which I believe has sold for $5,000. So 2 Cent, you're out of the running right now. And Laura took the 94 Gretzky Be a Player auto. And Laura, did you pick which one you were taking? Because you need to pick one of them. And I don't care. Pick whichever one you want, or pick both. Even if one of them makes it, I'd be happy. But maybe pick one, the 5 or the 8, because you're still in. It's down to 86, myself, and Laura right now. Warrior Kid picked up the Zegras Platinum Portrait, done for the rest of the month. Congratulations, Warrior. Andrew says, may an MBA certified card in a card saver help influence a higher grade when submitting it, or has zero influence? It's a good question, Andrew. It might have influence, but then again, all they're doing is authenticating. They're not grading. MBA is not grading. So For that reason, I would think zero relevance. Maybe it would just help get through authentication a little bit quicker, if anything. But I don't even know that PSA is going to listen to what NBA says. They have to worry about what they say. So
It's going to
you
come
never
down to
know.
the bias of the grader. That's the problem with human grading. Is that
Well, the authenticator, right? This is authentication
the
at that point.
authenticator, yeah.
And the other thing to consider is NBA is Mike Baker, and he used to work at PSA. So whether the graders of today, 30 years later, know who Mike Baker is a whole other question. They may not. So we'll see. 86 confirms the Gordy, and Laura says the 8. Well, that's good, Laura, because the 5 has now sold. So you're still in the running, Laura. I don't know if you said that before or after, but we're going to give it to you no matter what. Let's see what else has now been sold. We covered those. The Bobby Orr Tops PSA 8 with exceptional eye appeal sold for 186. I'm still alive with the 80 O-Pee-Chee Gretzky Auto. 840 on the PSA 5, while this 8 is still at 1375. This Gretzky Auto does 372. The Lemieux Limited Logos does 900, and the Rookie Showdown Crosby Ovechkin does 186. Everything else is still going. So let's hit a quick refresh here. We have 3.5 minutes now left in this window. We started with 61 cards. We are down to 7, you guys. We're down to 7 cards still alive in the auction. We have 86 collectibles is still going on the Survivor. 86 collectibles chose this Gordie Howe right here. I am still alive. I chose this Wayne Gretzky right here, and Laura is still alive. She selected this card, this Gretzky Be a Player auto right here. It looks like the Lemieux buyback auto just got a bid up to 410. Now Stützle's up to 1450. Kaprizov's up to 350. Lemieux 410, Gretzky 1375, Lemieux 420 now. My Gretzky pick just got another bid up to 410. Sawchuk's at 270, Howe's at 875. This is a beautiful pair if somebody wants to pick up both of them, of course. And Andrew says, I was wondering that because of Mike Baker. Good point. Yeah, you betcha. GC says, Troy, stop bidding on the Kirill acetate, please. Troy, is that you, Troy? Is that you? Josh, what do you think? Is Troy active tonight?
I don't know. That would be a good card to bid on, though. And I think one thing to point out about that particular card is remember when so Premier is a higher end set, right? But nowhere as revered as like the Cup RPA, but his Cup RPAs are stickers. And I believe some of his Ultimate were stickers as well, because the auto thing got a little funky between him and Upper Deck. And so I think that if you're a Kaprizov collector, that makes the Premier Acetate RPAs out of 99 even more desirable. Yeah.
Makes good sense to me. I want to welcome everybody who's watching us on X/Twitter. We've got over 50 people on YouTube right now. I'm showing 36 people watching on Twitter. So wanted to say hi to everybody there. And if you want to come over to YouTube, you're more than welcome to do so. But of course, keep watching on Twitter as well. That's great. And to everyone who's been coming in and out on Instagram, good to see you all as well. Okay, Josh, where are we at here? We've got a minute left in this window. Gordie Howe needs a bid for 86 collectibles. Gordie Howe needs a bid to stay alive in Survivor. Sawchuk and Gretzky are going to the next window. They're in green. We have one more 5-minute window, guys. That's it. And then we're into the 1-minuters. The 1-minuters. All 3 cards in this row are going to the next window. That's good news for Laura right there. And the final card, the Stützle, is also going to the next window. So we are not done yet. The next 5-minute window is going to be exciting as we have 7 cards left to go here. So we'll see what happens there. Josh, I noticed Bedard had a goal and an assist tonight, I believe. Last time you and I were together here is already a week ago. Boy, it goes by fast. But what are you noticing in general with Bedard right now in the last week? Any change to his market? Any change to pop reports? Any change to box prices, break prices, single prices? What are you seeing?
We had a couple big sales. You had the Outburst Red that sold. I think there's 1 or 2 more for auction now. We're going to debut. This is a little bit of our breaking news for our show. We're a segment that we're going to be tracking the Bedard Young Guns PSA 10 pop count. We're calling it the Road to Infinity, and it's already at 86. after 11 days. And we're going to be tracking that at every show because we tend to believe that will be the most graded hockey card, not too distant future that for PSA. But so I think you're starting to see a little bit of a calm down. Maybe people aren't going as crazy as they were, but it's still a very strong market. One of the things that we would point out really quickly is we looked at yesterday his card sales for the first half of March, like 7,200 cards sold in the secondary markets, Jeremy. If you compare that to McDavid, Ovechkin, Crosby, and Matthews, he sold more Connor Bedard cards sold the first half of March than those other four combined.
Oh my God. Yeah, I saw your post on that. That is just mind-blowing, staggering information, don't you think?
It's crazy. I mean, it's not crazy that he sold a lot of cards. I think we all knew that. But really, the four top tier current hobby players to sell more than all of them combined is nutty.
It's nutty. It is nutty. Very quickly, 86 has been 86th from the Survivor right now because the Gordie Howe, which was a great pick and a beautiful card, sold for $1,050 with exceptional eye appeal. I do love that card. And 86, we are mourning the loss of you in the Survivor for tonight. That leaves me versus Laura. Here we go. Me versus Laura. I've got my pick is this card right here, which is going to the next window. And Laura has this one, which needs a bid. Laura, you need a bid in the next 3 minutes to get to the next window there and to stay in the Survivor against yours truly. The professor lets us know that there are 2 hotspots on the NBA heat map of the Kaprizov Premier Acetate on-card auto. So if anyone is looking at that, that's this card right here. Hey, let's take a look at that heat map now that says, since Josh mentioned it, that's not going to do it. We got to go into the auction, not just the image. So let's go and open the link in a new tab. I'm going to close these other windows and let's go down to the heat map down here. There you go. So you can see they have highlighted on the reverse, the top left and the bottom left corners. So now let's go to the card itself, back of the card. Let's see if we can zoom in and see. I can't zoom past that, you guys. That's as zoomed in as I can go. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Sorry about that. Okay. I can't see anything here. I don't know. Is it this little dot there or is something on the corner? I can't tell because of this glare. Let's go to the bottom of the card and see if we can see any better down there. Actually, I can't even. Where does the card end? Does it end here or does it end here?
It looks like it's in a sleeve, and then the sleeve is all crinkled at the bottom.
Right? Is that what that? Yeah. The card ends, I believe, right here. Right here. Mm-hmm. So if we go to the bottom, yeah, I mean, it's so hard to tell if that sleeve. Look at the sleeve come in, hit the card, and come back out. Not a fan of that. I don't know what's going on. See, the heat map, while it tells you where there's something that they saw, I'm not seeing what I can't say with confidence what they saw there. And I'd love to be able to see it.
Go to the front of the card, because I think the biggest thing you need to know with these.
What's this here, Josh? Sorry, but what's this? This is a much better look at the card.
Yeah.
And I don't see the top left doesn't bother me. The bottom, I don't know what they're seeing. It's so hard to tell. I'm not saying it's not there. I'm just saying it's really hard to tell from those images. Maybe this is the better look at it. I don't know. I don't want to stream video so many times though. I might lose y'all. So we'll leave it. Have a look for yourself. But thank you to the professor for letting us know. At least we could go take a look at that. 30 seconds left, guys. It's the final 5-minute extended bidding window. And then we're into the 1-minute levels. So whether you're bidding on cards here or cards in other sports tonight, these windows all still apply. And if you are bidding, please scroll up and find that affiliate link. I'm going to paste it into there one more time for you all. And if you wouldn't mind using it, be very grateful. Warrior Kid says, I think once the graded Young Gun Bedards get back from PSA, things will get crazy again. That's going to, once we see PSA 10 after PSA 10 hitting eBay and PWCC and all the other auction places, then we'll have an idea of what's really going on there. 86 says, I beat Josh. I'm still a champion tonight in my eyes. That's awesome. 86. Congratulations on beating Josh. Hey, that is a big win. Looks like Laura's been out. I win.
There you go.
Survivor. Is that my first? I think that's my first time winning the Survivor. You're always winning, Josh. I win the Survivor thanks to this Gretzky card right here. The Sawchuck is sold for $360. The Gretzky 94 Be a Player Auto, his first pack pulled auto, sells for $16.80, and that is a beautiful copy of it. The Lemieux O-Pee-Chee buyback auto does $516. The Kaprizov Premier RPA does $456. And that leaves us now with 2 cards left. Let's see if the card I selected can be the ultimate survivor. It looks like we need a bid on either of them in 3 seconds, or every card is done. Let's let that update. It looks like they both ended up selling. Oh, the Stützle sold for $18.60, but the Gretzky sold too. I thought it made it through. $552. I beat Laura. Says it's an honor. It is, Laura. I'm glad you played. And the card I selected only made it 1 minute longer than yours. So that's hilarious. Professor says, I bid on the Gretzky card to help you win. I hope that is not shill bidding. Professor, that is not shill bidding because you're going to pay your bill, Professor. We know you will. That is not shill bidding. Congratulations on the win. And that's pretty much all the cards that we were watching. They have all been sold. Let's do this now. Let's just resort by highest price. And the Gretzky PSA 7, number 1 at $5,040. The Crosby honorable numbers, $43.20. The dual Ovechkin Bure ingrained stick does $39.60. The Lemieux rookie PSA 9, $25.20. The Hughes Shield does $22.80. And the Mahovlich rookie 1950. Final 3 we'll look at the Malkin Cup RPA 1950. The Stützle 1860. And the Laura's choice for the night, the 94 Be a Player Gretzky Auto does $1,680. And just kind of scrolling through the rest of them for you guys to see what else sold tonight that we were watching. Josh mentioned earlier to me that we really need to do a preview of next week's item. Josh, why do you think, Josh? What's before I do it, tell us a few things.
There's some huge cards. You'll just go to the auction, sort by price, and it'll be readily evident.
Sorry, I just had to go grab something. And before we do that, guys, I'm just going to show you another card. Well, here's a card that will one day maybe make it into the PWCC auction. But I received this back. Got it back from Tag Grading. But whoa, have a look at that, everybody. There's the Jeremy Lee Burbank Card Show Tag custom card. And then
nice.
And then I'm going to show you guys these two because I think these turned out really, really nice. I got them for my kids as well.
Oh, cool.
Aren't those awesome?
Yeah.
Yeah. They just turned out so nice and my kids, they love these. The only thing they don't like is that I said, they're not for you. These are for me. These are staying with me. So yeah, really like those. Those came back. All right, Josh, I just want to do that for fun. So let's see. The Professor says, I was actually trying to win the Gretzky second-year auto, but lost. Does not have the same Hockey Night in Canada as your cameraman story on your rookie Gretzky on card auto. That's right, Professor. It does not. Andrew says, amazing cards. LOL. That's awesome. 86. Thanks, guys. GC says, I'll let you guys know about the Kirill acetate when it comes in. GC. That's very awesome. Nice. That's awesome. And Webo2 says, any chance Tag will be doing those cards at the Expo in Toronto? Blink twice for yes. I don't know, honestly, Bill. I don't know for sure yet, but I'm guessing yes. It's so popular. I'm guessing yes that they will be doing them. So at least I'm hoping, because I want to get another one. I think they're so cool. So that's awesome. Okay, Josh wanted to do a preview for next week. So let me just switch gears here on the PWCC website. We are sorted for next week now. I've already selected favorites. I'm going to unselect my favorites. And now, well, you'll still see them by the heart. Mike Double V says, would love one of those tag cards. Sue's seen many posts on the Burbank show. Yes, they did them at the Collecticon in LA a week or two ago for, kind of non-sport stuff. And it was apparently a huge hit. So pretty cool. But here we go. Here's our preview next week, Josh. And right out of the gate, we got 3 huge cards across the top. But Josh, why don't you speak and tell me to scroll? I'm going to let you run this preview.
Well, it doesn't even stop here, right? So we have a McKinnon Young Guns high gloss out of 10, BGS 9.5. He's having the season of his life. So, a huge card. We just had a big time Crosby honorable numbers rookie, and now we have one for McDavid in the auction. And then there's some really big Ovi cards, and we have the Ice Premiers RPA out of 10. If you scroll down a little bit too, his regular Ice Premiers out of 99 BGS 10 is in the auction. There's the Gretzky buyback. A lot of people really love that card, this Gretzky buyback auto. I've noticed, and there's a couple other Gretzky or Ovi patch autos. It's just some crazy cards, and it'll be a lot of fun seeing kind of where these end up. What stood out to you?
Yeah. Well, first of all, you mentioned McKinnon's year. McKinnon is having a season that he's the best player in the world right now. He's better than Connor McDavid right now. He's having a better year than McDavid. Not to take anything away from McDavid. I think McDavid is the most skilled player out there. And McKinnon, arguably plays on a better team, but it's still, there's still the playoffs to come. Anything can happen, but McKinnon is having an absolute beast of a season, and he's making an argument for being in the discussion for, who are the top two players in the league. Is it McDavid and McKinnon, or is it McDavid and somebody else? And McKinnon is certainly, I think right now McKinnon is the best player playing.
Well, yeah. If he doesn't win the Hart, if the Hart came out today, you'd think you'd have to be the winner. So what's your reaction to McDavid only having 25 goals?
Doesn't bother me, really. I mean, I know goals are the sexy thing that sells, but points are still very important. Often there are so many goals that happen where the assist is the best part of the goal. Anybody could have scored that goal. It was getting the puck to that player. And that comes with hockey vision. The skill of making a pass is kind of harder than the skill of scoring a goal. The target is moving. The target is the size of a stick. Like, making a perfect saucer pass is way harder than scoring a goal, I would argue. So doesn't matter what I say about that, though. Goals are what sell. I don't think it really hurts McDavid at all. He's still third in league scoring right now, I believe, just behind McKinnon and Kucherov. So, I think, Josh, it's nothing wrong with that question. And we've talked about it many times. The better question, I think, is why is Kucherov getting no love? And he's, year over year, he's right up there. We know we've talked about it enough, but this is a big card here. This is a big McKinnon card. And if this was Connor Bedard, what is this right now? 80 grand? Like,
I don't even know.
Yeah, it's stupid. So this is going to go for probably a steal compared to what a Bedard would go for. And this guy already has a cup for sure. One, right? He's probably going to win another. He'll probably win a cup before McDavid and Matthews win their first cup. And he's a beast. He's an absolute beast of a player. He might be the best player in the world.
And looking at his age, and this might be peak, and I think that's something to kind of think about, that we could be experiencing right now peak Nathan McKinnon, and it's really fun to watch and enjoy.
Yeah, that's right. We have the McDavid rookie year honorable numbers. We did just see the Crosby sell tonight. Josh mentioned this Ice Premier patch auto Ovechkin. I love these, and this is beautiful. It's not going to stay anywhere close to 250. This signature patch rookie year cup Ovechkin, beautiful card as well. This is a cool card. This buyback is really cool. But this is this is an actual card that was bought back and then autographed. So it's not like it's not a newly printed card from buybacks. It's cool, but I don't nearly love it as much. I'd love it more if it was a newly printed card personally and was acetate or something, because this card is a dime a dozen. But they autographed 500 of them, and it's still very cool, no doubt. These Ice Premiers are, there was a time when these gave the Cup RPAs a run for their money. They just don't anymore, but these are great cards. Continue some Bedards. There's a rookie year McKinnon out of 97, or McDavid. I love that card, by the way. I think I've said that before.
I love that Austin Matthews buyback. If you go up, just the OP, I just think that's a really nice looking card.
Yeah, 15 copies. The autograph is perfectly placed, and it's a retro O-Pee-Chee card from 2016. So that's actually a rookie card on top of being a buyback and an auto. So that's really cool, actually. Don't overlook the fact that that's a rookie card. You know, it says 2019 Upper Deck buyback auto, but this is a 2016 card. Was at the time, still is. Wasn't printed in 2019. This is from 2016. So a really cool card right there. I agree with that. These are awesome. This is the silver parallel or the platinum parallel to the rookie card of Ovechkin from the Cup. Only 25 copies made. This is a big card, really big card. $43. Again, that'll be in the thousands for sure by the time we see you all again next week. Continuing along here. Yeah, so those are the big ones. You're going to see more. Like there's a McKinnon auto right there from Full Force. And you're going to see, I noticed that when I was scrolling through, there's a whole bunch of cards on repeat on the back end of this. There's a Lethal Weapon, Superpower, Gretzky, PSA 7, low grade, but still a tough card and a great card. As we scroll down, though, I'm going to kind of go faster here, guys, because I noticed I was looking at this the other day. I'm not going to bother flipping through the pages. Yeah. Well, here, I'll go to the last page really quick and just show you what I was talking about. Yeah, look at this. The checklist, like, you know, it's a lot of just, you know, taking up space type of card. These siders aren't going to, no, they're I don't know that these are worthy of PWCC, to be honest, but.
Well, and you have to imagine too that it would seem too coincidental for it to be three different people in these cases. And I guess my advice would be is that one in the auction would be fine, but if you have 5 copies and you put them all for sale at once, I don't think you're doing yourself a favor because you're even creating the perception that it's a dime a dozen card.
Well, yeah, and look at this card here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them right there. Something just caught my eye though, and that was this card here. This card just caught my eye. This is a 2022 Upper Deck Honor Roll. So it's an insert from flagship Upper Deck Gold Rainbow 25/25 Crosby. And where's the serial number on this? Am I just not seeing it? Oh, no, not. Where's the serial number for 25?
Oh, yeah, it's on the front there.
Right, there it is. Right there, right there. I mean, listen, you know, Upper Deck puts a lot of insert sets in many of their products, and some of them catch on. Some of them just don't catch on. And when they don't catch on, like the portraits, for example, a lot of people don't like the portraits, but when you get to the parallel, of the insert and it's serially numbered to 25 or less, now you're in my wheelhouse where I like those cards more. If I like the aesthetic of it, I will now like the card even more because it's the rare parallel version of the insert. And this is one of those cases where 25 is a pretty nice low number. This card, you know, I don't know what it's going to sell for. It's a PSA 10 as well. It's at $5 right now. Like if this thing doesn't hit $100, I'll be like, well, it probably should have. So
yeah,
just my thoughts there. So anything else, Josh?
No, it should be a fun auction next week. Like you said, there's some huge cards.
Huge cards for sure. The professor says at GC, did you get a chance to use the Sports Cards Live affiliate link? Thank you, Professor, for mentioning that. David G, appreciate that. Yeah, we're going to wrap this up, guys. So hope you enjoyed. And to those of you that won some cards, and especially those that used the affiliate link, very grateful and congratulations on your pickups. If you sold cards tonight, I hope you did well on your sales. And we'll be back next week. Yes, we'll be back next week, Josh, correct? Maybe the week after we won't be back. I have to look at my calendar, talk to Josh, but we'll be back next week for sure. Some beautiful cards to look at. Josh, anything you'd like to mention before we sign off?
No, just a new Gong Show at 3 a.m.
As always. And remember, guys, Sport Card Expo coming up at just about 5 weeks from now. Make sure if you come, you're there for the Thursday night event that I organized. And I can tell you, I believe we're going to have a special treat this time with some sponsored items, let's say, put it to you that way. So if you're coming, make sure you're there for Thursday night. It would be great to have you. Hobby Champs, thank you so much for being here. 86, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. Laura, good to see you. Congratulations on beating Josh tonight in Auction Survivor. To everybody who is still watching us, we're over 35 people on Twitter. Thank you for tuning in. and on YouTube. Of course, everybody in the chat, we appreciate you. With that, this episode of the PWCC Hockey Auction Weekly Hockey Auction Ending Watch Party is over.